Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to walk through the answers to the study guide. I want to encourage you, the best way to use this is to make sure that you have attempted to answer the question before watching the video, because if you have not, it is not going to be as useful to you as if you had, okay? So make sure that you've done all of the problems and then use this simply to either check your work and or to get an explanation for maybe why you missed something, okay? So be looking for, if you get it incorrect, be looking to see what you may have done wrong, all right? So in this first one, which choice best represents the expression 2x minus 4? To solve this one, I'm going to be looking for 0 pairs. And so I'm going to be canceling out and simplifying it. Okay, this one is negative 3x and then a positive 2. That doesn't match that. This one is 4x negative 2. This is negative 2x and positive 4. And then this is a 2x and negative 4. Okay, and so in this one, didn't have to do any 0 pairs here. It was already in simplest form. So the correct answer is D. Remember, if you have a positive or negative, those would cancel out. But in this case, there was none. All right, so moving on. So to simplify this expression, I'm going to combine like terms. Okay, so that is what I have to do. I'm going to, circle all of my variable terms. Then I'm going to box my constants. Okay, and then I'm putting the two variable terms together. Now, when I do that, I know we didn't do a whole lot of fractions, but this is the same. I just want you to treat this fraction as if it was a whole number. So we have 5 over 2 minus 1 over 2, okay? And if I just do that, I'm gonna get 4 over 2, but I just want you to just want to show you really quickly how, again, that doesn't have to intimidate me. All I have to do is just, if I don't know how to do that, just put it into the calculator, over 1 over 2, and it's gonna give me 2 as the answer, okay? So when I put those two together, I got 2m, okay? And now, I can go ahead and mark out these. I can go ahead and mark out the 2 with the 3m because it's not. And so now I'm going to do negative 1/3 plus 5/3. So negative 1/3 plus 5/3. And I want to show you something. Here I get 1.3. Okay, 1.3. So, but it is, in the problem, there is no, in the answers, actually, let's do plus 1.3, and it's 3, and it's 3, and it's repeating, okay? But I don't have that as an answer choice, all right? Well, if I was, again, going to eliminate this, I could say that it's not that one, but this, again, this is written as a improper fraction, and I have a decimal here, so all you have to do is to just check, okay, what is 4 over 3 as a decimal? So 4 over 3, and then when I check that, I see that it is 1.333 repeating, okay? So that is the answer there. Again, all we're doing is combining like terms. Don't be afraid of those fractions. Treat them as if they were whole numbers, all right? Okay, so we're gonna simplify this expression, which matches. Here I'm looking for 0 pairs. Again, 0 pairs, okay? And then here's another 0 pair. And so then what am I left with, right? I'm left with 2 x's, 2 positive x's, and then 2 positive 1s, which is plus 2. So my answer there is C. All right, moving on. Same thing here, okay? I want to, again, we're simplifying this expression, so I want to look for 0 pairs, okay? And just remember, in order for it to be a 0 pair, it doesn't have to be side by side, okay? It just needs to be a positive and a negative, all right? And so we have these two are 0 pair, these two are 0 pair, okay? And then these two are 0 pairs, okay? Again, 0 pairs, all right? So I'm left with, this is a negative x, this is a negative x, so I'm left with negative 2x, and then this is a positive 1, and then I got plus 2, okay? Which the answer there is D. All right, moving on. Simplify this expression. I am simplifying this by doing the distributive property. Okay, the distributive property says I'm going to take the number on the outside, I'm going to multiply it by both numbers on the inside, or I could use my area model where I have 7 on the outside, the x, and the negative 3, okay? And so 7 times x, and then 7 times negative 3, okay? That's going to give me 7x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21, okay? Again, I can use my area models, whichever one you like to do, and then just put them together, all right? So my answer is, and friends, this is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We cannot afford to get any questions wrong like this, okay? And so now for number 6, in order to solve it, we got to do 2 things. This time we got to distribute it, that negative 8, and remember, we got to distribute that negative 8, okay? So we're doing distributive property, but we are also doing combining like terms, okay? So after we distribute it, now I'm going to bring that negative 4 down and then combine the like terms. So negative 8 times 2y, and then a negative 8 times 3, okay? All right, so when I multiply that, negative 8 times 2y is going to give me negative 16y. Negative 8 times 3 is going to give me a negative 24, and then I'm going to bring that 4 down. Okay. And so when I bring it down, now I'm going to combine my like terms. I got negative 24 minus 4, and that is going to give me a negative 28. And so it's negative 16y, bring that down, and this is my answer here. So negative 16y minus 28. Again, it's likely going to have, you got to make sure that you remember that negative. If you forget that negative, then you're going to end up with the wrong answer, okay? So please make sure you distribute that negative. And so again, my correct answer would be A here. All right, moving on. Okay, again, another modeling question, all right? And hopefully by now you got it, right? When you are simplifying, we are looking for 0 pairs, and then we're just going to write the expression based on what's left over. So we got, this is a 0 pair, this is a 0 pair, okay? And then I'm left with a positive x, and then a positive 1. So that is 2 positive x's plus 1, and my answer is D there. All right, okay, next one. This one, I had a bunch of people in class struggle with this one. They're like, hey, what do I do here? And I'm like, the same thing we've been doing, right? Whenever there's a number on the outside, we got to distribute that, okay? But this time we're just having to distribute it twice, okay? But it's the same thing. Whenever you have a number on the outside, you have to distribute, so distributive property. And then after we do that, we're going to combine the like terms in order to simplify it, okay? So we got, I'll zoom in this for this one. So we got negative 2 times x. Then we got negative 2 times 4, okay? And then we got negative 2 times negative 3, okay? Negative 2 times negative 3. And then we got negative 2 times negative 3x. Okay, so again, I'm just distributing, all right? The number on the outside must be multiplied by both of the numbers on the inside. So negative 2 times x is going to give me negative 2x. Negative 2 times 4 is going to give me negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 3 is going to give me a positive 6, okay? because negative times a negative is a positive. And then negative 2 times negative 3 is going to give me a positive 6x. And so then, once I get here, I've distributed. Now I just got to combine the like terms. So I'm going to circle all the variable terms. I'm going to box all of the constants. Okay, so negative 2 plus 6 is going to give me a positive 4x. And then negative 8 plus a positive 6 is going to give me a negative 2. And that is our answer, which is C. All right. So all of these, again, just distributing and combining the like terms. For this one, okay, again, guys, you have to figure out what is the equivalent expression. So first thing I would probably do is I would start by distributing this, okay, so that I can figure out, okay, what is this expression, all right, and then seeing which ones are like that, okay. So once I distribute this, I am distributing the fraction, which again, I'm just still going to treat that fraction as if it was a whole number. So I'm doing 1/4 times 8x, and then 1/4 times negative 16, okay? And when I do that, I just want to show you, right, in the calculator, you put it in, and I know how to do it mentally, but I just want to show you 1/4, and it was times negative 16. And that's just going to give me a negative 4, okay? So, oh, sorry, I got ahead, that was over here, so this should be negative 4. And then 1/4 times 8 is going to give me a 2x, okay? So I'm running out of room right here, so I'm going to rewrite this over here, okay? So I got 2x minus 4 plus, again, now I'm just bringing the other stuff over, okay? So now I can combine the like terms in order to simplify this, okay? So I got, those are the variable terms and then the constants. So 2x minus 5x is going to give me a negative 3x, okay? And then negative 4 plus 7 is going to give me a plus 3, okay? And so the key here is this, all right? In this one, there are multiple answers that you need to select, all right? So I'm looking for which of these also equals negative 3x plus 3, okay? Well, it needs to be a negative 3x and then a positive 3. Is that one the same as this one? Well, it is, because this one is just switched. The order is just switched, but I still have a negative 3 and I still have a positive 3. So this is a correct answer, okay? What about 7x plus 11? That is not, okay? What about 3x plus 11? Well, again, it needs to be a negative 3x, so that's wrong. 7x plus 3, nope. Now, let's look at this one, all right? This one is 3, but this time I got to distribute that 3 to know exactly what that is, okay? Well, 3 times, remember, there's an imaginary 1 in front of that, so 3 times negative 1 is going to give me negative 3x. And then 3 times a positive 3 is going to give me, 3 times a positive 1 is going to give me a positive 3. So is that the same? It is. And then lastly, negative 3x plus 3. So there are 3 choices here, okay? And so we first started by, again, distributing it, combining the like terms so I can figure out, okay, what is this expression? And then I got to find which ones are equal to that. So I just kind of got to go one by one, all right? And so, guys, that's probably one of the more difficult problems on the test. Again, if you take your time and work through it, I'm confident, because it's still just all of the same. It just is, there's multiple answers, and that can be the part that's tricky, all right? Same thing on the next one, okay? For the next one, you got to do a lot of work to get this. It's still the same, right? This is the equivalent expression that we're looking for. We just have to, we got to distribute these 1/2 each time in order to get the answer, okay? So I'm going to do that really quickly. 1/2 of negative 6 is negative 3x. 1/2 of 10 is 5, so plus 5. then the minus 2x, then the minus 5. When I simplify these, I'm going to end up getting, I'm combining those two like terms. So negative 3x and negative 2x is negative 5x. Plus 5 and a minus 5 is going to give me 0. So that cancels out. So that's just negative 5x. That's not right. Okay. Then I'm going to distribute the 3 over here. This is going to give me 3x plus 9 minus 8x plus 1. Okay. Combine these. 3x and negative 8x is going to give me negative 5x. And then 9 plus 1 is going to give me plus 10. So this is a correct answer. All right. Then I'm distributing again. Again, a lot of work here, but it's just all the same, right? Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. Okay, make sure you don't forget that negative. Negative 2 times negative 1 is going to give me negative 2. Then, and this one, I have an imaginary 1 out here, and that's what's being distributed. So this is negative 1 times 2x, so that's negative 2x. And then negative 1 times a negative 12, which gives me a positive 12. And so then I just got to combine these like terms. Negative 4x and a minus 4x is going to give me a negative 6x. And then negative 2 and a positive 12 is going to give me a plus 10. Okay, close but not quite. All right. Make sure I did that right. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's not right. And then on this one, I have this over 2. So what that just means is it's just taking half of what's here. Okay. So taking this and dividing it by 2, it's just gonna, what's half of 10? Well, it's negative 5x. And then what's half of 10 again is just a positive 5. Okay, and then I got to combine these like terms. Okay, that's going to be negative 5x plus 10. Okay, and then that one is also 1. All right, so again, we didn't do one like this. Friends, that just means we're taking those numbers and we're just dividing. We're just cutting it in half. Whenever you divide by 2, you're just taking half of it. So half of negative 10 is negative 5. Half of positive 10 is 5. All right, okay, moving on. All right, so first 10 problems have dealt with area models. I'm sorry, not area models. Representing the algebraic expressions, so the models where you have the x's and the 1s and negative 1s, positive and negative. And then we dealt with distributive property and combining like terms. Those are the 3 topics, and that is going to make up half of the test. The other half of the test will deal with the perimeter and the area of composite figures. Okay, so what I will tell you is 1, for this section, make sure you're using your formula sheet. 2, make sure that you're using these steps where you divide the terms up or use your steps for finding the area of composite figures. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so find the area of this shape. I got to start by dividing this shape up. Remember, there's multiple ways you can do it. For this one, there's actually going to be 3 different shapes, all right? And so we got a rectangle, all right? And the formula for this rectangle is area equals length times width. And when I do that, the length is 9, the width is 5. So we got 5 times 9, okay? And that's going to give me 45, okay? So 45 is the area of that one, okay? Now, I got to figure out, okay, I got this small, what looks like a square, but I got to figure out what the dimensions are, okay? And so if this whole thing is 12, then I know that this part is 5 centimeters. And if this whole thing is 12 and this part of it is 5, then I know that this part is 7 centimeters. Oh, I'm sorry, no. This whole thing would be 7 centimeters. This part of it is 5 centimeters. So if that's 5 and that's 5 and then this whole thing is 12, then that means this little part is 2, okay? So let's go ahead and find the area of And then I'm sorry, I also have to find this. So I found the length and I got to find the width. All right. So this whole thing is 9. This little piece is 4. So that means this piece is also 5. All right. So this is actually a square. And I know that because the sides are both 5 and 5. So we got a square. Okay. The formula for the area of a square is s squared. My side is 5. 5 squared is going to give me 25. Okay. So 25 is the area for that shape. And then lastly, I got a triangle. Okay. And the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay. My base is 5 centimeters. I'm sorry, my base is actually 2 centimeters. This is my height. My height is 5. So we got 1/2 times base is 2, height is 5. Okay. And so that is going to give me 5. Okay. 5 centimeters squared, 5 centimeters squared. And then I just got to add up all of those pieces. So then I got 45 plus 25, which when I add that, that's going to give me 70. And then 70 plus 5, and that's going to give me 75 centimeters squared as my correct answer. All right. Moving on. Question number 12. Okay, so question number 12, we got to divide this up. There's many ways you could divide it here and here, or you could divide it here. I'm going to actually divide it here. Okay. And then we just got to figure out the dimensions, right? So we got, this is 22, this is 10. So for this rectangle, this first one, okay, I got area equals length times width. My length is 10 centimeters. My width is 22 centimeters. Okay, so multiply that. That's going to give me 220 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's 220 centimeters squared. All right, and then I got to find the area of these two pieces. Well, this one, actually, I have 8 and 5, so I already know that one. With this one, though, it doesn't give it to me. But if we look, okay, that we should be able to figure out that this rectangle is the same as that rectangle, because this piece goes here, it's the same distance. So this is also 8 centimeters squared. So really, when I find the area of this rectangle, it is the same as that one. So we got area of the rectangle equals length times width. My length, okay, my length is 8 centimeters. My width is 5 centimeters. And that's going to give me 40 centimeters squared. Okay, so this is 40. And we said that those are the same. And so then I just got to add those up. So I got 220 plus 40, which is going to give me 260. And then 260 plus another 40. And that's going to give me 300. So my answer is 300 centimeters squared. All right. All right. This is the one I'm actually going to, I'll continue on. What's the approximate area? This one we did not do problems that required shaded region. But what I got to do here is I have to find the area of the whole thing. And then I got to find the area of the circle. And then I'm just going to subtract it. Okay? So, formula for area of a rectangle. The area of the rectangle is length times width. Well, the length is 5 feet. And then the width is 12 feet. Okay, so 5 times 12, that is 60. And it's going to be feet squared. Now, that is the area of this entire rectangle. But now I have to find the area of the circle. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, this time it tells me to use 3.14 for pi, and so that's what we're going to do. Okay, well, I need to find my radius, and if my radius is from the outside to the middle. All right, and I need to figure out what this is. Well, I know that from this side all the way to the other side, I know this is 5. Okay, because it tells me right here. And then the radius is just half of that. So I have to take half of 5. And so I do 5 divided by 2. And that's going to give me 2.5. Okay, so my radius is 2.5. And so then I'm just going to take 3.14, because that's what it told me to use for pi, times 2.5 squared. And so then I put that into my calculator. We got 3.14 times 2.5 squared, and I get 19.625. So 19.625, and that is the area of this circle. And so to find the shaded region, what do I have to do? I don't add it, I have to subtract it. So I have to take the 60 minus the 19.625. And when I do that, I'm going to end up with 40.4. And that is the answer, okay? So, guys, the difference between this one and the composite figure is because these shapes here are these we have to add up to get the total. This one, we have two shapes, and one shape is over top of the other. So that's why we had to subtract that. It's like we're taking that part out, all right? So, let's, again, guys, what I will say for the test is, listen, I know we did not do many of these. I would not worry too much. Again, I know we've covered a lot in a short period of time. And so, yes, in some ways, we weren't able to do every type of problem that you might see. But this is just applying all of the things that you already have learned. So that's all it is. You can do this, all right? All right, let's continue on, all right? So for this one, it says, it says, what is the perimeter, okay? So you have to be clear if it's asking for area or if it's asking for perimeter, because those are different, all right? So for perimeter, those are easy. All we got to do is add up all the sides. Now, to add up all the sides, we have to know what all the sides are, all right? So in many cases, you're going to have to figure out what's missing, all right? So for this one, I know that this is 8 centimeters. Again, I'm going to find what I'm going to use what I know to find what I don't have, all right? So if I know that this is 8 centimeters and then this is 10 centimeters, then that tells me that this is 18 centimeters. Because this from here to here is made up, this is 8, this is 10, so that's what gives me 18. Right? Same thing, this is also on the other side going to be 18 centimeters. Right? And then I also need to know what this line right here is. Well, if I know this is 5 and this is 5, and then the whole thing is 22, so again, this is 22, this part is 5, this part is 5. Well, 5 plus 5 gives me 10. Okay, then the whole thing is 22, so that means this part of it must be 12. So that means this right here is 12 centimeters. Okay. And so now I have all of my dimensions. I have that side, this side, this side, that side, and I'm just adding all of those up, okay? And so I'm doing 18 plus 22 plus 18 plus 5 plus 8 plus 12 plus another 8 plus 5. And I don't have my answer key with me right now, so I'll just flip over here real quick, add these up. So I got 18 plus 22 plus 18 plus 5 plus 8 plus 12 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8 plus 5, and that should be, hopefully I got all my numbers in there, 96. Let's see, 96. All right. And all right, real quick, I'm going to end with this one because I am running out of time. School's day is about to start. I'm making this video in the morning. So this one is asking me to find the perimeter again. Okay, so I need all of my sides. Well, this side is 10 inches. Okay, and then I need to find the circumference, the outside, the perimeter of the semicircle is the circumference. So that is C equals pi d. okay? But because it's half of a circle, I'm going to do 1/2 pi d, okay? And so I got to figure out what a is. Well, if I know this whole thing is 20, and I know that this part is 6 and this part is 9, 6 plus 9 gives me 15. 15 minus 20, that gives me 5. So this part of it is 5. So the diameter is 5. So 1/2 times pi times 5, okay? That is going to give me the circumference of that semicircle. So 1/2 times pi times 5. And it's told me to use 3.14. So I'm just going to use 3.14 times, 1/2 times, and then times 5, and that's going to give me 7.85. Okay, so this is 7.85 as the side, as the circumference of the semicircle, and then I just add these all up. Okay, all right, so here, so this is 10, that's 20, 40, 49, 45, and then 45, says round it to the nearest 10, 45, hold on, 20, 10, 20, 40, 40, sorry, that was 55, and then 55 plus, that's going to give me 62.9. All right, guys, we're going to continue through. All right, let's get to number 16. The figure shown is composed of a square and an equilateral triangle. The side of each length is 10 square inches. What is the distance around the composite figure? So it's asking about the distance around, okay? So that is perimeter. And there's a perimeter, okay? And that word equilateral triangle, that just means that each of these sides are equal, okay? So that means all of the sides is 10 inches. And so it asks us, what is the perimeter, what is the distance around? So we're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so that is the answer, okay? So the answer is 50 inches, all right? Now, all right, Mr. Redmond designed a painting for one of his classes as shown below. It contains 4 circles on a square canvas. Each circle has a radius of 10. The circles touches the edge of the canvas shown together. All right, so we got to find the area of the shaded, okay? So we are finding the area of the shaded. So to do this, I got to start by finding the area of this whole thing, okay? All right, so I got to find the area of the whole square, and then I got to find the area of each circle and then subtract it, okay? So now I know that the radius of the circle is 5, so that means that radius would also be 5. And then another radius would be 5, and then another radius would be 5. So that tells me then the length of this is 20. Okay, so 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Okay, and again, it's the same thing the other way. Okay, so this is a square, right? Again, if I drew a radius here, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 radiuses or radii, which is 20. Okay, so the area of the whole thing is, again, area of the square is 20 squared, and that would give me 400. Okay, so that is the area of the whole thing. All right, then I gotta find the area of the circle. All right, so the area of a circle, okay, is pi r squared. So it tells me to use 3.14 for pi, so 3.14 times the radius is 5 squared. Okay, so I'm gonna come over 3.14 times the radius. What was the radius? Oh, it's 5, and then square that. Okay, so we got 78.5. Okay, so the area of the circle is 78.5. That is the area of the circle. So that means this is 78.5, this is 78.5, this is 78.5, this is 78.5, okay? So those are all of my circles. And so what I have to do is I have to subtract it from what I got as the area of the whole square and subtract each of the circles. So 78.5, 78.5 minus 78.5 minus 78.5. Again, I'm subtracting each of the circles. I'm taking it out, okay? Or I could have just did 78.5 times 4 because there's 4 circles. All right, so 78.5 times 4, that gives me 314. So 400 minus 314. All right, and then when I subtract that, that is going to give me 86. And that is the correct answer. All right, 86 inches squared. All right. Moving on. All right. Sammy wants to put a decorative border around the top walls. Okay. How much border will he need? Again, border is talking about perimeter. Okay, so perimeter. So I need to make sure I have all of my sides. Well, I have this one, don't have this one, so I need to figure out that one. All right. Okay. And so again, if I know that this whole thing is 20, this whole thing would be this piece plus that piece. If this is 10, then that means, and the whole thing is 20, that means this is also 10. Okay. And then I got to figure out this piece. And well, I'll go red on this one. If I'm looking for this piece right here, okay, and I know this whole thing is 15, well, that means this piece plus this piece is going to equal 15. So 5 plus that is going to give me 15. Well, I just, to find the missing one, 15 minus 5 is going to give me 10. So this is also 10. All right. So from there, then I'm just going to add all of these up. So we got 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 15 is 45. 45 plus 5, 50, 60, 70. The answer is 70 feet. Again, I'm just adding up all of the sides. All right. Again, this is just so you can see all the steps. All right. All right. Almost done. We're almost there. All right. Mary has built a walkway around a rectangular pool shown. The walkway is the same width on each side of the pool. What is the perimeter of the pool without the walkway? Okay, so we're looking for the perimeter, the outside of the pool without the walkway. All right. So we're looking for just the area, the perimeter of the pool. All right. So if I know that this piece right here, right, is 4, and this piece is 4, then 4 plus 4 is 8. And then I got to take that away from the 45. Okay. So take away, that's going to, 4 minus 45 is going to give me 41. 41 minus 4 is going to give me 37. So the bottom is 37. And then this is 37. Okay. And then, okay, I also know this whole thing is 30, but I also got to take away this 4. Okay. And then this 4. So 4 and 4, I'm going to take away that from the 30. So that's 8. Take away from the 30. So 30 minus the 8 is going to give me 22. So that is 22. And this is also 22. Okay. And so then I'm going to add those all up. 37 plus 37 plus 22 plus 22. And when I do that, that is 59, 59. It's going to give me 118 feet. And we have made it to the end, okay? You got this baseball home plate, and we're finding the area, okay? This one is actually already divided up kind of into pictures for me, okay? And so I got a rectangle here, okay? So let's start by finding the area of my rectangle, okay? Area of a rectangle is length times width. Make sure you're using that formula sheet. The length is 9. The width is 14. I'm sorry, not 14, it's 18. Okay. Got to make sure you're using the right numbers because there's a lot of numbers going on here. But again, length and width, okay, 9 and 18. That is, sorry, don't feel like doing that mentally. 9 times 18 is 162. Okay, so that is 162. That is the area of the rectangle. Okay, now I got to find the area of this triangle. Area of the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, the base is this one, which is 18. The height is that one, which is 18. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. No. No, it's not. The height's not 18. This whole thing from here to here is 18, and then from here is 9. Okay. So if the whole thing from here to here is 18, and this piece is 9, that tells me then this little piece right here is also 9, which is the equal to the height. So we have 1/2 times the base, which is 18, times 9. Again, I'll try to explain how I got 9 for the height. So the whole thing is 18. This piece of it is 9. So that means what's left over, 18 minus 9 is 9. Okay? And then I do that. Half of 18 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so then we got to add those two. 162 plus 81. All right. Okay, and so friends, thank you. You've made it to the end. My last piece of advice, listen, if there are ones on the study guide, some of them, especially the last 10, require so many steps, okay? And so in order to pass this test, you have to get 16 out of the 20 right to be in the green. So what that means is you can miss 4 and still be proficient on mastering this unit, okay? So again, there's going to be ones that are a little harder. I would say encourage you. Listen, if you can't get all of them, focus on making sure that you can get the ones right that you understand, and ones that are maybe a lot more steps. Maybe those are the ones that you miss, or that you try your best. Certainly not saying that, but I am trying to take off some of the pressure because guys, there's a lot of steps on many of these questions. So perseverance is going to be key. Effort, taking your time, and then you will need to study. So I hope this helps you in your preparation for the Unit 2 assessment. All right, good luck and do your best.